Welcome to another story. If you love stories that resonate with the heart, you've come to the right place. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on our journey. Act 1. The signal in the night. Cold rain pounded against the terrace window, each drop echoing through the empty corridors of the mansion. Allison woke with a start at the piercing buzz of an incoming SMS. Her phone on the bedside table vibrated, lighting up the screen with just 3 words in bold letters. "We know everything." That harsh white glow cast long shadows, as if an invisible witness was watching her. Her heart skipped a beat and her fingers tightened around the phone. A whirlwind of thoughts raced through her mind. Who could it be? Pranksters? Media operatives? Or someone close to her inner circle? Allison froze, straining to hear the whisper of wind and the creak of the wooden floorboards behind her. She felt the house itself seem to whisper back, "We know everything." The smell of wet asphalt and damp wood filled her lungs, awakening an ancient instinct. Run, hide. Where to go? Act 2. Shadows of the past. By morning, as the city slowly stirred awake, Allison stood in the balcony watching the sunrise paint the sky in pastel pinks. Before her lay an array of glossy magazines on the coffee table, Hollywood's hottest couples, Wife of the Year, top 5 celebrity marriages that were doomed. She flipped through the pages, seeking comfort in the familiar adoration of a lifestyle she herself had helped create. 2 years earlier, her wedding to Brian had been the talk of the town. Paparazzi couldn't get enough of their picture-perfect romance. Yet even then, there were murmurings of chilly distance and secret rendezvous. Allison had brushed them off, convinced that in the spotlight, rumors were inevitable. Now those same shadows returned twice as sharp and personal. Act 3. The hidden photograph. Just last week, tabloids had splashed a grainy photo across their front pages. Brian seated alone in an upscale cafe, leaning in toward a woman whose silhouette blurred in the dim light. Allison downloaded the image onto her tablet and zoomed in until every pixel was magnified. Of the smooth curve of her hands, wearing a ring identical to Allison's. The delicate rim of the wine glass he clutched. Of the subtle lean of her body toward him, an intimate gesture. Allison's gaze flicked back to her own hands. Her wedding ring glinted faintly under the lamp. A knot formed in her stomach. Her gut screamed this was more than a casual meeting. Rationally, she told herself, maybe she's just a colleague from his latest project. But something deep inside knew otherwise. Act 4. A voice from the dark. Later that night, Allison braved playing the anonymous voice memo emailed to her. At first, all that came through was the distant hum of city traffic. Cars passing, a lone dog barking. Then a whisper from Brian, chilled to the bone. Brian, softly, "No one must ever find out the truth. Everything will be fine." The background noise vanished, as though the recording itself had broken free into the silence of her bedroom. Allison clutched her head, her world tilting on its axis. Outside, the wind howled, as if confirming her worst fears. This was no idle rumor, but a direct threat. Act 5. The vanished evidence. The next morning, Allison raced back to that cafe, rain-slicked pavement reflecting the gray sky. She handed a barista a battered memory card, hoping to recover the original photos. The young man behind the counter glanced sourly at her. "Ma'am, we don't have any footage." The cameras were offline for maintenance. The card seemed to disintegrate in her hand, vanished, maybe dropped into a puddle or snatched up by someone walking by. The faint scent of stale coffee mingled with cigarette smoke, leaving her with a single thought. Someone had meticulously cleaned up every trace. Act 6. A rift of trust. Back in the dimly lit drawing room, Brian sat at their antique desk, framed by the warm glow of a crackling fireplace. Allison entered without knocking. "You're hiding something from me," she accused, her voice unnervingly calm. "I demand the truth." He flinched, lowering his shoulders and meeting her eyes steadily. I was trying to protect you. Sometimes the truth is more dangerous than a lie. Her chest tightened. How could protection require deception? Her voice trembled with hurt. Protect me? From what? What are you keeping from me? Act 7. Legal burden. Later that day, a courier delivered a thick envelope to her doorstep. Inside lay a stack of court papers, 3 lawsuits filed by the tabloids, demanding immediate retractions and threatening multimillion-dollar damages. Defamation, public injury to reputation, financial loss. Each legal term felt like a punch to her gut, her life's work and public image dangling by a thread over a handful of blurred snapshots and a leaked audio clip. For the first time, she understood the true weight of fame. One misstep and everything could be erased. Act 8. An unexpected ally. Just when despair seemed absolute, the doorbell rang. It was Marcus, a longtime family friend and veteran producer who knew the dark underbelly of media inside and out. In his hand, a USB drive. You deserve the real story, he said, eyes solemn yet determined. Plugging it into her laptop, Allison watched as footage appeared, not a romantic tryst, but a recorded extortion scheme. On screen, a shadowy figure demanded a large payoff from Brian in exchange for silence about alleged off-book transactions. Clear voiceovers laid out sums, deadlines, and thinly veiled threats. Transfer the funds by midnight, or we go public. Act 9. Shards of truth. That evening, Brian and Allison gathered in their home screening room. Bright footage lit the darkened walls. 1 time-stamped clips of clandestine meetings. 2 audio overlays of tense negotiations. 3 close-up shots of envelopes stuffed with cash and the precise handoffs. The sterile office background and clipped commands, "You don't understand what you're dealing with," hung in the air. Allison felt adrenaline surging. The ugly reality of manipulation now laid bare before her. Act 10. Reclaiming the narrative. The next morning, they stepped together in front of the YouTube camera. Allison spoke with a calm steel beneath her warmth. Brian offered an earnest apology to their followers and a promise of transparency. Allison, we were pawns in someone else's game. But now you know the truth. We'll show you how to protect yourselves from these kinds of schemes. Brian, thank you to the friend who refused to stay silent. Without this evidence, we'd still be in the dark. They raised their hands toward the lens, a gesture of unity and invitation. How did you feel when you first saw that photo or heard that recording? Share your experience in the comments below. Your voice could help others avoid deception. Thank you for watching to the end. If this story touched you, support the video with a like and subscribe to the channel. There are many more exciting stories to come that will stay with us for a long time. See you soon.